Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam. We live in a time where one of the most common questions people ask is, if someone is a good person, doesn't hurt anyone, and gives to charity, why isn't that enough? Why do they need to follow a religion to go to heaven? It's a question that comes from a place of human empathy. But to answer it, we must understand the very nature of paradise and the one who created it. Listen to this definitive and foundational hadith recorded in Sahih al-Bukhari and Sahih Muslim. The Prophet ﷺ declared, "Verily, paradise is not entered except by a Muslim soul." Subhanallah, to the modern ear, this might sound exclusive or strict, but when we look at it through the lens of Sharia and spiritual logic, it makes perfect sense. First, we need to understand what the word Muslim actually means. It is not an ethnicity or a culture club or a tribal label. The word Muslim literally translates to one who submits their will to the Creator. The Prophet ﷺ is teaching us that the absolute baseline requirement for entering the eternal presence of God is acknowledging God. This hadith teaches us the profound reality of our relationship with Allah and the currency of the hereafter. Imagine a man who is incredibly working hard. He shows up early, cleans the office, helps his colleagues, and does a fantastic job. But he works for a company A. At the end of the month, he walked into the headquarters of company B and demanded a paycheck. They will tell him, "You are a great worker, but you didn't work for us." Similarly, if a person does a good deeds in this world purely for the sake of humanity, for their own ego, or for a good legacy, they will receive their reward in this world through praise and memory. But paradise belongs to Allah. You cannot refuse to acknowledge the owner of the company your entire life and then demand the ultimate retirement package. Islam teaches us that good morals and ethics are beautiful, but they require a spiritual foundation to survive into the next life. That foundation is Tawheed, the absolute oneness of God. A Muslim soul is one that connects its earthly compassion to heavenly obedience. When you give charity, you don't just do it because it feels good. You do it because the Creator commanded it. This elevates a simple civic duty into an eternal act of worship. When a believer hears this hadith, he should never breed arrogance. We don't look down on others and say, "We are going to go to heaven," and you are not. Rather, it should break our hearts open with immense overwhelming gratitude. Guidance is a gift. Hearing this should make us fall into sujood, thanking Allah that He placed the light of Islam in our hearts, and it should ignite a passionate desire within us to share this beautiful truth with our neighbors, our co-workers, and the world. My dear brothers and sisters, being a good person is the standard for living peacefully in dunya, this world, but being a submitted soul is the standard for living eternally in the akhirah, or the hereafter. Paradise is the home of peace, and it is reserved for those who made peace with their Creator. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep our hearts firm upon His beautiful deen. May Allah allow us to live as Muslims, die as Muslims, and be resurrected among the submitted souls who are welcomed into His eternal paradise. Ameen. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.